Greetings, brethren, sistren, and otherin, for another exciting episode of No Theoretical Bias presents Pilate's Voyage. When last we met, thank you, faithful viewer. You already know this, but for the people who are just showing up today, when last we met, the party braved the horrors and terrors of the labyrinth, finding the mystical, magical, great weapon that they were sent to recover at the very, very core of the labyrinth. Turned out to be Maelstrom, the Chaos Blade, an intelligent living weapon that wrestled a bit with Urkthor's mind before grudgingly deigning to serve his will for the moment. All right. So, set the scene. They're in the center of the labyrinth. Basalt columns that pop up and down, seemingly from the sky, out of the ground at a moment's notice. Walls, passages, water, fire, flame, heat, acid, whatever. So they made it through. And they're standing there taking a little breather. The blade is in Urkthor's hot little hand. And things start to happen. The labyrinth starts expanding out slowly. Sounds good. Expanding out slowly in a hexagonal shape. Just clearing. All of the columns start falling into the ground until it's a completely level space. And then at just the edge of your vision, again, because the mists are still filling this, an entire line of basalt columns rises to the sky slowly. The next one in rises slightly faster. Revan, you're standing next to your nature spirit, correct? Your summoned nature elemental.
Oh, yeah.
It makes a noise. It sounds more startled than anything, but it gets vaulted up into the sky by four of these columns that thunk, shoot it up into the air, where it catches the light, like it's above the fog somehow, but it's not. And you realize it's being held in light. There's, again, that sourceless light for all around intensifies around this thing. And its form starts to shape and melt and congeal. And it's not horrific, but there's some major changes going on. If you were watching like a caterpillar changing into a butterfly in fast motion, X-ray, this thing is twisting around and twisting, and it compacts into this perfect wooden sphere and then expands again, and it slowly lands next to you. It's not the spirit you summoned. It's not an elemental. Give me a recall roll, please.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, guys, are we running before we get vaulted into the light, or are we trying to go up there?
You're not sure since you've never seen one before, but this matches the sketches. This is an immature tree folk, treant.
Oh!
And it looks at you with big, glowing, lambent eyes and nods and smiles and just turns and walks away. Oh, and it's got a slight reddish hue to its skin. And it, again, nods and smiles and turns away. And while you're all paying attention to that, there's another sound of a vaulting something or other. And that's when Sidewinder catches some air. Okay. Twisting. And again, doesn't seem to be in any pain, Sumac. You're looking at this. It's like he's writhing around something, like coiling around something that you can't see, and the light is touching in from every direction, and it glows and it glows, and he curls back up, and you can almost see how he would have fit in his egg way back when, and then that shape falls away, and he comes drifting down to the ground on his wings. He has got from somewhere a beautiful, transcendently beautiful set of rainbow, like watercolor rainbow wings.
My
Shadow
rattlesnake
never
can fly.
Off in their
World
life.
beware!
And he luffs the wings and lands in a coil, and the wings furl back, and he looks at you, and in all of your heads you hear, I have been away and I have returned. Where to next, Sumac? And it's got the voice is about what you'd expect from a giant serpent, not nearly as hissy, and the mouth isn't moving, but there is a decided glow of intelligence in Sidewinder's eyes. He glances at Shadow knowingly, like, maybe you'd like to come
Shadow
over.
flips off the snake. Shadow looks furious and stubbornly hops onto Urkthor's back and sits there, pouting.
I have a saddle. So, all right. Yeah, that was and the light starts to fade. The general light, the light and the fog start to fade, but the marching walls of basalt columns are edging slowly towards you. The space is getting smaller, and it's all seems to be pointing you in a particular direction. What do you do?
I don't like being edged towards. Unless somebody wants to ride that to the top of wherever the pillar goes, which sounds like a bad idea to me, I say we start moving in a vaguely quick fashion in the opposite direction.
I don't mind riding it.
Now that you've suggested it, Shadow might
I have regrets.
Okay.
Sticking to that thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can stick to that if you want to, Shadow, relatively easily. When the wall finally reaches any of your stragglers, anybody who's slow behind, let's say, I don't know, Micah.
What?
Since you were already planning on riding it, have you ever seen like some really good hacky sack players? They just pop the thing up and then another one pops it and it goes around and they can make it go in circles and stuff. Well, somebody's playing Micah Hacky over here, Hacka Mikey over here, and just bopping your, again, it doesn't hurt. It's more of a catch and throw kind of a thing. But yeah, this whatever the maze is, because you still haven't figured that out, the operation behind it, whatever the maze is not really wild about letting you come all the way to the top. Urkthor,
Shadow's point at the weird tree. I wanna follow the weird tree. Actually, I'm going to follow the weird tree. My party. Shadow is gone.
When the tree notices you following, he puts out an arm, like a branch.
I'm on it. I'm on his arm. I'm perching. I'm chilling.
My child.
Any objections to following the tree?
I'll follow the tree.
Let's
a
follow the
parent
tree?
now.
Let's follow the... Oh boy, you're not ready for that.
So,
Sumac just seems kind of blank stare at the moment, trying to process
I've
rainbow
created,
wings on a rattlesnake.
I've created a new sumac.
and so
What?
Don't even finish that thought, okay?
No,
never. No, I mean, maybe, but no, never. No. Don't give me those ideas, dear.
You don't get full credit for that. There was some holy lights and some transfiguration things happening.
I am at
Magic
least
equals birds and
co-parent.
bees.
Okay.
You are not ready to even be co-parent yet.
I see them dropping off the little woodsy guy at a Starbucks, and Revan showing up. You forgot your backpack, honey. Come on. We talked about this, Sumac. All right. If you're going to change. Anyway, sorry. Flashbacks. Okay. So, yes, the tree is striding unhurriedly in a direction, with Shadow pretty obviously happy with this. This thing is smooth. I mean, this thing is gliding. It's just there's no up and down at all. So Urkthor, discretion being the better part of valor, he's apparently valiantly advancing to the rear at speed. Sidewinder comes up to you, Sumac, and again the voice. Should we linger, or should we go with your friends? I am that I was, Sumac. I am just more now.
He just reverts to the how they used to communicate, with a look being like, "We're gonna discuss this later."
Gotcha. He does offer his services as a riding beast if you want to take advantage of that. Okay, so Micah, you've made it ahead of the advancing wall. Revan, I'm going to get back to you here in a second. Micah, you've made it ahead of the advancing wall. What do you do?
I believe our player for Micah might still be. I think something grabbed them just as we were starting. I think we should circle back to Micah.
Okay, wait. I need to make sure. What do you think of Shadow?
What?
I direct that question towards Sidewinder.
Shadow is your friend. Shadow is your compatriot. Shadow has saved your life about as often as you save theirs. And in a certain light, Shadow is very tasty looking.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You haven't
no.
changed. Okay, we're good.
No. He's still, he's still a predator, but just, a kinder, gentler predator that would hold a door for a lady, but a predator nonetheless. So, Revan, what are you doing while Mike is thinking about stuff?
I will in fact pursue after my changed elemental ? Yes. Child?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. So, Micah, what are you doing?
I thought I was riding the wall up. I thought I was riding the. Am I not riding the pillar up?
You're trying to. It keeps kicking you off like a hacky sack.
Oh.
And traveling you a little bit.
Okay.
That was the analogy I was trying to draw. I don't know.
Got you. Now I get the hacky. Now I understand how the hacky sack plays in.
Gotcha.
I am going to, I guess, stop trying to climb the wall or trying to ride it, and shift closer towards Sumac.
Okay.
As everything kind of is going haywire.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's proceeding in a very logical and rational manner. Sooner rather than later, that the big empty open space where you all were in that's been closing, it's closing slowly from three sides. So it's obviously like pushing you out the box canyon over here. As soon as the side parts gets comfortable breathing distance, you're not all on top of each other. It's a couple dozen yards across. That stops, and then the back wall just keeps moving you forward gently. Again, very much a sense of an intelligence behind this. Flashing the lights, putting the chairs up on the tables, and mopping the floor and looking significantly at the exit. That kind of a thing. And again, if you don't do anything else, you find yourself where you recognize to be the original opening of the labyrinth. but when you look at it, it's changed into a cliff, varying heights. It looks completely natural at this point. Looks like it's been this way literally forever. And there is nothing labyrinthine behind you. You're staring at a cliff wall. So, what do you do?
Well, who's ready to go see if they put on any funeral arrangements for us?
Ooh,
I expect they probably have for a few of us.
I don't know what their certain practices are, so I'm somewhat curious about that, and I don't know how long we've been in there. It's kind of really misty, so maybe they haven't gotten around to it yet, because they try to give a certain amount of time before they do such a thing. But also, hey, maybe we beat the curve. I don't know.
Very
I
possibly.
mean, I'm fairly certain they expect us all to perish.
They
some
were
of us more than others.
definitely expecting us to perish, and I'm about to relish in that. Oh boy! Oh boy!
So your new tree friend Shadow has now got you on the arm in front so that they can keep walking and but hold up a conversation. You find that you understand it. It's first of all, home team has got way too many fingers on hands. Looks like an AI generated something or other, and has this very elaborate sign language of shapes and like visual representation of sounds. So you hear, the susurration of wind through dry leaves. Okay. And you're like, oh, I know what that is. It just seems to resonate with you. So basically you two are, having whatever conversation you want to have. Let's see, what are we going to call this guy? Revan, since you carried this thing under your heart for 40 weeks. What do you want to wear? What do you want to keep? What do you want to name?
well, this is a child of me and you, right?
Sprouty McSproutface.
I was just gonna go with a simple Maple because
Maple.
tree names.
I like it.
Oh wait, it's red, so we can
Yeah.
name it a cedar. Name it cedar.
There are also red maples, though.
That could be. Yeah, we can do red maple. Just a maple.
Red maple. I like it. Red maple, the tree. Okay, cool. So Red seems to know where they're going. Just moving, gliding over this parched earth, headed into the Crimson Forest a little bit. And what are the rest of you doing?
Well, Revan, you've already named that. You named it?
Well, I did originally make it.
Yes, but it's been around for like this elemental specifically has been around for less than a day, a week. Again, time in the labyrinth. Weird. But if you name it, you
Not
have to become
edible.
attached. And I'm not sure you're ready to be attached to it. I don't know, but okay, it's going in that's the right direction to be back to town, right? Right?
That seems to be going into the woods.
Sumac, is that back towards the centaurs, or is that directions? Is that back
Are we
towards the
heading back towards the
centaurs?
centaurs right now?
Yes.
Okay.
To the best of your recall, Sumac, you were retracing your steps that got you from the campsite to the labyrinth, and that proves to be true. There are horns that blow in the distance. They were probably keeping an eye on the place, and so you were met with a not quite a cheering throng. The mood is positive, but a lot of people are hungover. Commiss is a thing. Know your limits, and stay inside them. Yeah, the mood is somewhere between holy crap, they did it, and yay. they it's pretty obvious that they were preparing some sort of event. Revan, you're the most knowledgeable about like magical and spiritual rituals. This was either gearing up to be a celebration or a banger of a funeral. Oh my gosh, they were just they it's one of the two. When they're taking down all the black wreaths and putting up the laurels and stuff. No, it's not quite that obvious, but yeah, it was. Either way, they were gonna have a few drinks and say a few words. So they're very surprised. Well, on the surprise scale, there's somewhere on the surprise scale. The kids immediately descend on Shadow and Maple. If it was any other universe, Maple would have a tree swing on them by the end of the day. You Revan, what's your hold on, just look so I don't have to ask. Tick tock. Okay. Revan, give me a hard roll, please.
All right.
Okay. Mark experience. There's the pounding of feet on earth, and you almost are the recipient of Delia leaping up into the air into your arms. She apparently had a change of mind about 15, 20 feet away, and so she scoops you up in hers and just gives you just rib creaking bear hug, one of those, kisses all over the face and hug, and kisses all over the face and hug. I was so worried and you went away. Okay, so you go from
as this is happening, there's the obligatory wink towards Uthor.
So yes, so you are just you're fully attended at this point by by Delia. Strong boy, you didn't. I mean, she's a sturdy gal, but you didn't realize she was that tough. Anyway,
there's a sarcastic gagging noise as Delia. There's a
yeah.
Humac and Sidewinder are just confused.
I was meaning to talk to you about that. Young friend, new associate of yours doesn't smell right.
That's what I was thinking.
So, everybody kind of gets glommed onto, unless you tell me specifically that you're sticking together. You've got a couple of the wise folk trying to drag Revan back over to the tree, who is standing there. It's a combination of, this is where I'm supposed to be, and why are all these people here, kind of a thing. It's like if you came home and there was a party at your house, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize. So Maple looks very much at home and very scattered, attention being drawn everywhere. The warrior types are approaching Urkthor. That's quite the blade you have there.
I'm keeping it as concealed as possible through all of this.
How are you muting its voice?
I was never aware that it has a very vocal voice to everyone around.
A ringing metallic voice, sometimes iron, sometimes bronze, sometimes fluting silver bells.
And everyone can hear it? It's not just in my mind? Okay.
Oh, no, yes.
Well.
So you were talking about
it matches you quite nicely.
Making some further arrangements with your new ally here, Urkthor? Where did you want to go
Loud
with
and
that?
loving to announce its presence.
Yes.
Well, if it was constantly announcing itself, then at some point I would have willed it to potentially hush itself until we could have a actual discussion. You know, arrange how this mutually beneficial communionship is going to work.
I shall be as silent as you are.
Understood. Can do. I will shake hands and I will puff out my chest. And I would like to work my way over to Micah if possible so I can have a discussion with him.
Okay.
Once, of course, the revelry is over, and I will be flouting myself like a tropical bird, but not saying a word.
Hello.
Do we have a rhyme counter?
Enjoying the festivities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were. Are you actually eating? Okay, I thought you were like eating ice cream or something. I'm like, it's like mood, but what brings you over by me?
In a hushed tone, I have something I'd like to speak to you later when there's less people around and it's slightly more private.
Fewer.
There's a lovely ritual site that we could go to if you would wish to speak to now.
Oh, and you said we are in slightly
We're in the
after
village,
the
right?
festivities?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in the environs of the horsefolk village.
Yes, but they're still crowding around us and celebrating our return, correct?
Well, you've got the advantage of your celebrities and whatever strategies you want to pursue to get a little, hey, this was tough, we need to lay down whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're very, very no one's dragging you off someplace, but everybody's like, hey, when you get a second, let's talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can go off to the ritual site if you want to. Either one. There's the big one over here or the little one around the cliff.
Micah, if you'd be willing, I would like to go to the ritual site by the little one around the bend.
Of course.
That'd
Around
be
the
great.
bend. Around the bend. How appropriate.
Well, why not? And with that, Micah, I'm not quite familiar with communing with spirits, even if they are quite talkative, as I can tell. Do you have any suggestions for how these kinds of things go? I would like, of course, I'm already in possession of this weapon, and
It's very rude to speak to someone as if they are not here.
My bad. What is your name, first off?
Maelstrom.
Nice to meet you, Maelstrom. I'm rather new to this discussing with higher powers or strong magical influences, which you definitely seem like one.
Who is this?
My name is Ukthor the Mighty, and I've come in possession of. Actually, you're quite aware of how I came in possession of you, but
I know you, dwarf. I've seen your soul.
am flattered.
I know you. Who is this?
This?
And you can't you can't get a head shake out of a blade, but again, somehow this thing's attention is on Micah. Who is this? It smells of magic.
This is Micah, the heart of the hearth. He's an incredibly powerful ally of mine, and one who I will occasionally look for advice from, especially in the things of magical, because as you can already tell, he is quite acquainted with the magical. Hence why I have brought him and you aside, so I can potentially better hash out our relationship and potentially how we are going to continue working together in the future.
Do you trust it?
Yes, I do. At least half of it.
To interject, I am more than an it. I am mortal.
My bad.
Truly?
I mean,
Bleed, mortal. Show me.
Oh well, that's um a little bit more difficult. I don't think being mortal means that you bleed. I think it just means you have a soul.
Do I have a soul construct?
Not a construct. And do you want me to answer this honestly, or
Do you perhaps have
I'm not sure.
Revan's ability to look deeper into the nature of magical things? Because I'd rather not borrow him at the moment.
I don't think so. I've never tried. I mean, I have Infinus, but I don't think we've ever really tried. Infinus and I know each other on a deep level, but I think that was more by accident than on purpose.
If you trust it,
Not in it.
how would you like to be referred to?
My name is Micah. I mean, I would appreciate my name.
Micah. Micah the Trusted. And who is that with you, Micah, that my wielder does not trust?
That's fair. It's Infinus. Fellow worshipper of the Light Queen, and while he is a little bit of a angrier boy, spirit, he does mean well.
He's fantastic muscle, if not a tad rash.
I do mean well as well. I do mean. I do cruel. I do smite and slay. And your friend, Infinus the Fiery. Micah the Trusted, Infinus the Fiery. When do we leave this place, Wielder? I grow bored.
Understood. First off, we need to hash out how this is going to work between the two of us. What I'm assuming, actually, I'm not going to assume anything. Now that I'm your new wielder, what is it you desire of your new wielder?
I sense presence. It's gone. Carry me well, fight well, slay, and if you must die, die bravely.
Oh, that most definitely can be done. Is that all?
For now, Wielder. For now.
Well, that will not be too hard for me to keep up my end of the bargain then. In return, I have enemies to be vanquished, as well as I prefer to be able to keep it my own renown that I be increasing, if you don't mind taking a back seat. I will take many lives and souls in your honor, but I'd prefer that I get the credit. Is that possible?
In my honor or in my name, Wielder? Choose carefully.
It's part of what this discussion was to figure out. But hence that being your response, I think in your name may be necessary.
There is a beautiful silver ping, and then the ringing of a gong, and then this clash of sword on shield. So let it be, Wielder. So let it be. So, what's everybody else doing?
Playing
Magda,
tag with the kids.
Oh yes, they're having a good old time. Magda does approach you, Sumac.
Okay. We were having a joyous time discussing with the first person I've ever met that thinks like me. It's amazing.
Who?
Sidewinder.
Hi, I'm
Priorities. in very
I'm
strange.
a soulmate of a cold-blooded creature that uses poison. I dated her. I dated her 3 different times. She changed names and haircuts, but it was.
I mean, I'm a cactus. It works.
Some people refer to the birds and the bees. We refer
Symbiotic relationship.
to the snake and the cactuses.
Snake
You know.
in the cactus.
No, that's not
Stop
what that
there.
is.
Stop there. Okay. Oh boy. Gives
It's
a whole
birds in
new
the trees right
gives a
now.
whole new, gives a whole new meaning to the phrase prickly pear. Anyway, moving on.
No.
Yeah, Magda approaches you and is very interested in, obviously your friend here has gone through some changes. What happened? And interviews you / grills you on it. She's surprised when Sidewinder starts answering his own questions. So they're having a meeting of the minds. Revan, she eventually turns loose of you, but she's never more than arm's length away. And she wants to hear the whole story of everything that happened. And did you get hurt? And is there anything she can do? And I made you this thing, and it's homemade, and I hope you like it. And so, anybody doing anything while the sword conclave is going on around the cliffside?
Shadow's gonna try to pick up a conversation with the tree
Mm-hmm.
and try to figure out why it looks so confused.
When I was here last, the sun was different. And the trees were different. The ground is the same. I remember the ground. And there are so many of the others, so many moving. And it was good. It's good to see you. But where are the rest of the birds? And the things that crawl through the underbrush? Where's the underbrush?
Other
Where's the
birds are like
river?
me. The other birds are like me.
Where's the river? I don't hear the river. I don't feel the
There are
river.
no rivers.
Oh, okay. So you end up having a conversation with this, like an embodied spirit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Maple tells you about how they were basically he remembers something, or they remember something bad happening, and a power kind of reached out and put him back in an acorn. Okay. I wasn't me, I was a potential for me. And then the little one with the wooden arm, he said, rise. And part of me was there. And I remember part of that. And then we were in the stone place, and something reminded me of who I was. And I am. But they didn't tell me everything that happened when I was gone. So
You're the only real tree I've ever seen. The rest
Really?
here burn.
You gets very offended to that
Others don't look
statement.
right.
Really?
You're the closest thing to a tree I've seen. I've never seen living wood.
Oh.
You is now very offended to that statement.
Oh.
Okay,
So
well, you know what? You can suck. You can suck it.
You can suck the Chinese New Year. don't delve. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you've completely brought this little tree spirit down, talking about the missing, the lost groves and the burned woods and 10 billion cindered trees, and he's taking the wind's starting to pick up, and he's taking fingertips, like filtering ash out of the air and tasting it. Yeah.
Shadow calls in a cheery, casual voice.
Does what in a cheery, casual voice?
delivers all of this information about all of the how dead the world is.
Oh well. Seeds grow where they fall, and I will find a good place to fall and grow. That yes.
We can help you. You can come with us.
Companions.
Perhaps. I need to put my toes in the ground and think on that. But that was a really nice offer. So, are we friends?
Friend!
I haven't had a friend in a long time. So,
I don't think my friends are actually my friends, but we can be friends.
I I haven't. I'm out of practice, so if I do something wrong, you'll tell me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, not quite sure how with all the hustle and bustle, but Red Maple is sort of fading to the fringes, running his hands over the red trees, and then stops moving and turns his head to the side. And if you weren't watching him do it, you'd be like, okay, that's just an odd looking tree, just goes completely motionless. Um, and yeah, as far as you can tell, that's just a tree.
Shadow
All right.
plays with other people a bit more. By the end of the night, Shadow is up in a branch, leaning against like the trunk, and that's where they sleep for the night.
Okay. The wind is picking up a little bit, and you're a little disturbed by like particulate, but when you open your eyes again, the branch and the leaves have they're like filtering. You're hearing it like rain against a window pane as opposed to taking gravel in the face. So yeah, so he's there and aware, just not moving. Revan, yeah, yeah. Delia does just about everything except check your teeth, um, and just wants to hear everything. She grabs a couple of skins of kumis and a slab of whatever it is that they were cooking, and drags you off to the tent and sits you down and gives you a napkin and keeps filling your glass. And then what happened? And then what happened? And then what? Do you leave anything out, boss?
I don't think so.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, back to Urkthor and Micah.
Would I be able to do something?
Sure, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just
Well,
a second.
After getting sidetracked on a very long and in-depth conversation about how camouflage is going to work with rainbow wings and how that's going to affect hunting going forward,
Well, he puffs out the wings again, and again, all the kids that Shadow was playing with just okay, and then the colors shift.
Hold on, testing my back.
Yeah, you're back.
I hear you.
The colors shift and become the same sand and rock color of Sidewinder. And maybe he shows off just a little bit. There's a tree that's growing fairly close to the cliff wall, and he goes and coils up next to it. The end of his tail become what looks like a thick tree root, and his modeling patterns change to match the wall behind him perfectly. And the wings you think are still out, but he's using them. Have you ever seen an octopus change color and texture and all that? Yeah, yeah.
Chromatophores.
So, yeah. So he's using the wings as part of that. So it's pretty impressive. You would probably notice walking by him, especially if you were on the lookout. You don't know if anybody else would notice him. until it was like literally right next to him. I don't think anyone would notice. So
That
yes.
answers that question.
Mhm.
Having solved that rather thoroughly and impressively, I am going to ask him about what he was smelling earlier. I've had that suspicion for a while, but I don't have all the senses you possess.
The one obsessed with your little friend with the wooden arm. She doesn't. You do not smell entirely of flesh and blood and bone and fur. Neither does she.
Is the heat the same?
It can be.
What does it smell like?
It smells what it smells like, what it looks like, and the smell of air after lightning,
Hmm.
the smell of a hot forge, the stone one's friend who makes metal smells like that. Perfume,
We need to keep an eye on that one.
musk.
That's not
I shall.
no living thing I know of. Smells like all of those things. If it does anything suspicious, that's when we strike.
It only has a heartbeat when it wants to.
Okay.
Yay! So, back to
When it wants to.
if you come up with any questions based on that, let me know. But Urkthor and Micah, your it's very odd to be under the scrutiny of a metal object with no eyes, but you can just tell when it's looking at you. Anyway, go ahead.
Actually, there was something I was curious about. Is it seems like I can tell you gazing upon us. Do you see? And perhaps can you even read? Because I'm not fluent in enough languages, and there's many writings I don't understand. Would you be able to read ancient writings for me?
Depending on the ancient writings, yes, Wielder, I could do that.
That is incredible. And I know I agreed. We will slay and I will kill mighty enemies under your name, and for your glory, and both. What about outside of combat? Outside of combat, can I boost my own ego, or do I still need to be stoking yours? I'm just curious. You know, is this a split of fame and glory, or is this all in the name of you? Because if there's a little room for me, I'd appreciate that.
When I saw your mind, Wielder, I saw the times when you dragged a spear in the dust and the blood, and I saw your mind say, "No, I will not be a tool. No, I will be a wielder. I will be the one who makes the decisions. I will not be a pawn."
It's
I
quite
feel I feel quite the same way. If thou treats me with respect, then you can have no better ally.
Then can I expect the same out of you?
The voice changes to more of a bronze or a brass, the sound of blood on grass, ringing. I've had many wielders, some worthier than others. I I respect you enough to beg your indulgence to say that when I know you better. I cannot tell. Indications are positive. But yes, you have my respect until you lose it. Fair?
Fair enough for now. Micah, have you ever seen such a beautiful blade? You have to admit, it is a gorgeous weapon. Let us go find Sumac. Sumac would enjoy such a beautiful blade.
I would like to examine you sometime, if you don't mind.
Maelstrom, would that be okay?
And if I do?
Well, then I would like to try and replicate you. Or if you're comfortable, because I was told I need to ask.
I have no equal. I have no equal, Stone Soul.
Well,
what if it was just your image?
What if it was just
image?
What if it was
image?
Well, don't think of it like
image. I am image. I am flame. I am lightning. I am mercury flowing. I am death.
We'll
take that as a no, Micah.
Don't think of it so much as a copy of you, but maybe an honor to you.
Honor me, Stone Soul. Make me a mirror.
Well, as a weapon, you can only murder and kill as many as I'm capable of murdering and killing. If we could make replicas and people use those replicas and still kill in your name.
Micah's gonna lean into her sword.
Wielder.
Am I allowed to
Micah, one moment, please.
Okay.
Wielder. Please stop this line of thought for now.
Understood.
Thank you.
Micah, you can admire the craftsmanship, but there should be none of its likeness created.
No, I get that now.
Micah.
I don't like it. I don't like your sword. Can I sacrifice it?
No. Expel the idea from your mind.
But y'all didn't let me. You didn't let me sacrifice Pilate either.
Micah the trusted.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Micah the trusted. I crave. I wish to give you an apology. I have been alone with my thoughts for too long.
Aw, the sword is submissive. Aw, how cute.
I do not.
No. Finish your apology. Finish your apology to Micah. That's fine.
I do not wish to offend inadvertently.
Do you mind placing your sword on the ground so it can really bow to Micah? You know, it really hurt.
No, because Micah is also partially in the wrong here. You would never consider sacrificing Infinus to the Light Queen, would you?
I mean, I am Infinus, so no, but
exactly. But you probably could sacrifice Infinus to the Light Queen if you had that coin that I believe Shadow has. Yet you haven't. And I hold that in the same regard as you would hold sacrificing either Maelstrom or the ring that is Pilate to the Light Queen. Can you understand that?
Fine, I'll make it stop groveling to Micah.
I appreciate
that's okay. That. It's fine. No, I appreciate the apology the sword gave. It takes a lot to say anything. So thank you. And Micah's actually gonna bow to the sword, and Infinus is just gonna you can tell on Micah's face, right behind their eyes, Infinus is furious. But Micah genuinely is thankful.
Revan, give me a cool roll, please.
And I suppose before I derail everything, I'm going to be making sure somebody
when I'm making cool
we've
rolls.
been tacking around can bleed. Because I don't know if they can.
Oh yeah, and I'm starting to look for Sumac.
Okay. Revan, mark experience.
The second
You're you're gonna notice something first thing in the morning. Remind me of that. Okay. So mark experience. Um we're gonna fade to black on Revan here. Just he had a lovely, lovely time. um uh,
So you would hope.
yes, no, it's he he's making memories, It's just like
Now,
maybe
If we allow
you
him to
know,
continue making memories.
maybe the real treasure was the hot work girlfriend we met along the way. It's just it's it could
Um,
happen. It could happen. So Sumac, you are approached by Urkthor and maybe Micah, I don't know. Are you already asleep, Shadow?
no, Shadow probably won't go to sleep until sometime in the morning. They've got a weird sleeping schedule.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Sumac, I believe it is time to gauge the allegiance of our tag-along. We have what we came for, and I want to make sure before we get any closer to its destination, that we make sure that everyone's traveling in the right direction.
Wielder,
Yes.
I want to see it bleed
who
to
is this?
confirm something.
This here is Sumac. Sumac, the tamer of serpents.
It
It's
wasn't this one I was
I
referring to.
do not own
That one.
Sidewinder. He
Who
is
is
my
that?
partner.
Who is that?
The serpent? Sidewinder?
Yes. Who is it?
It is the companion of Sumac. Sumac, do you have a better introduction to give for your companion?
He is my hunting partner. We kill together and eat the spoils.
He smells of the labyrinth.
That would
He
make sense. His latest transformation was towards the end of the labyrinth. Were you trapped in the labyrinth, or were you being prepared in the labyrinth for your next wielder? That is something I never got the answer to.
It wouldn't tell me.
Oh, interesting.
My last was a what do they call them? I forget. Elf. The tall, slim. That was the last of them. And he died well in the war.
Urkthor, you're gonna feel a little weight drop onto your shoulder here. It's just
Oh.
Shadow.
Perfect.
They put me in the place, and the labyrinth lulled me. The lights, the sounds, the sensations. It is as if I slept and woke and slept again. How long has it been?
Since your last wielder, I have no telling.
When did the war end?
There has been many wars. You'll have to be more specific than that.
I don't want to roll a check on that. Do I have any sense of what war he is speaking of?
The war. The gods fall, when all that was fantastic turned and rended itself like a snake biting its own side. The war. The rest
Oh,
of
that's gonna have some flashbacks.
Oh yeah, it does. Give me a cool roll, please.
Now that sounds like a grand time, but that's going to be well before I was probably even conceived. Oh, though one of us may have some memories.
Okay, Sumac, you don't take any emotional damage, but you do.
My face drops slack as I'm not seeing outside anymore right now.
No. Sumac gets 1,000-yard stare. And Sumac, you're reliving a double handful of your least favorite memories, and there's a few new ones on the reel. Okay. That's kind of the surprise in your unhappy meal. Um, oh, um, you remember, when the sky was riven by what looked like 1,000 falling stars until you noticed the wings and the screaming. You remember when the sky cracked and fell. You heard you felt the impact as the moon shattered. When the ground rose up and lay down again dead. When all the ley lines screamed and flamed. You felt it. You felt it. And there was some hope. You lived just as a cactus for an age, many days, many nights. And this snake, dug out a burrow right next to / under you and laid her eggs. And went on her way after they hatched, and one of them just kind of stuck around. And maybe it was that one, or maybe it was the great 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 grandchild of the first serpent that coiled around your feet. But sooner or later, one of those offspring stayed with you, and you walked again, and you moved in the world. But yeah, that was from your travels. You've kind of sort of figured it was over 250 years ago. Your current best guess is like 274, but still a rough guess. And when you snap out of it, Sidewinder is in fact curled around your legs up to the knee and is staring at you with those eyes, strangely compassionate.
Sumac, I still need you tonight. I still need some assistance tonight. No going back and doing war stories with my sword tonight. Sorry, Maelstrom, but I have at least one more thing I would like to accomplish before crashing for bed. Are you back with us?
Yes, you are.
It's been a long, long time.
Understood. Do you think you can keep a bow steady?
Yes.
Good. I'm done speaking it. Okay. I would like to have a speak with Dahlia. I'm going to have a speak with Dahlia tonight. I don't care what I barge into.
How to say this delicately? As you approach the
I have not approached yet.
Okay.
I'm still planning.
Oh, still in the planning status. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're like,
I need someone who can keep an eye on the tent. When I go in, and if something goes awry, they're willing to pepper it as necessary. Especially if they get a clear shot.
Pepper it?
Shoot arrows into it, specifically probably targeted at the person whose loyalty we do not yet know for sure. We have suspicions, but also we have suspicions in the other direction. Yes, no, everyone here is on the same page that we don't exactly trust Dahlia, right?
Are you asking to give me a chance to shoot Dahlia?
Sidewinder has told me it has a heartbeat only when it wants.
Uh-oh.
That could complicate things.
Micah's perked up when you say that you might let them just shoot Dahlia. They do not like Dahlia.
There's a possibility of that, but first we need to figure out the heartbeat sometimes makes me think sometimes she's possessed by something.
And I would have no qualms with killing it.
If it's only sometimes, I don't want to kill an unwilling host.
Question:
When
Is
it wants
Sumac in
to.
the right mood to translate for Shadow right now?
I don't even think she's paying attention to the fact that you're there.
I hate to break it to you, Shadow.
We're
but
on memories and on
Sidewinder might be
unnatural
able to
thing that
translate for
possibly
you.
caused said memories, and I want to kill it.
No, as Urktha pointed out, Shadow, if you ask Sidewinder real nice, he could do it.
Sidewinder.
Yeah.
Perhaps I require your assistance in translation. I was wondering if you might be amenable
If my people could see me now,
to an arrangement.
you know,
They'd be hungry.
I'm sure my mother would be so pleased that I'm.
Your people. One of my nestmates got killed by one of your people.
And everything needs to eat. Sorry.
It
Question,
didn't
is
even
the
eat my
telepathy
nestmate.
one
It just
way?
bit it and walked away. Slithered
I was gonna
away.
about that. Is it just like projected generally in the area, or is it 1-to-1?
Well, you're learning that. He apparently can just kind of talk to everybody all at once, like he's got a voice that just everybody locally hears. He can whisper. But yeah, so are you getting like audible in your argument here, Shadow? Are you squawking at the snake and the snake is responding?
I describe it as more of a chitter.
Oh,
Like
okay. Scolding. You're scolding. Okay, I gotcha.
Like, Shadow is always uncomfortable around the snake and does not like the snake.
Right.
And now it speaks.
But Shadow
Now
won't
you're
really
asking it
go
for a
very
favor?
Yes. It's everything has to eat. So I just
It didn't even eat my nestmate. It just bit it and slithered away and killed it for no reason. It didn't even come back to eat the corpse. Okay? Someone else had to eat the corpse. I had to get rid of her. But someone else had to eat the corpse.
That's terribly wasteful.
Right?
So I know Sumac's mind. And I will tell you now. If you have to die, I will make it quick. And if you have to die, you have my word, I will eat you in your entirety. And Sumac has made it very clear that you have to be in like the last 5 on the list. And the list is kind of long. So if that helps. All right, I'll put you last on. Oh, okay, I'll put you ahead of Sumac. Sumac comes last, but you can be like, it's like, okay, I'll eat Sumac last and like you second. Is that?
I'm amenable to that. Are you amenable to translating for me?
Oh, sure.
Shadow's gonna look at the others and wait, give Sidewinder a second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust that bleeped. Can we kill her?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now that we're all on the same page, the answer is conditionally yes. She may be a needy side piece, but she may not be at fault for being a terrible she may not be malicious and only is possessed by a malicious being. That's not for sure, but that doesn't stop us from tying her up or somehow restraining her, so therefore the malicious being can't actually use her for its malicious deeds. Now,
Shoot, Dahlia, got it.
I need to see it bleed to know.
understood. That we could probably that I will personally arrange. I understand there's a growing list of people who would like to be the one to do it, but how we will go about this is I will go in straightforward, and it's just me coming in to check on my buddy. Sumac, I would like you to get a vantage point somewhere where you're far enough away that if Dahlia or whatever is controlling Dahlia, probably Mangle, let's stop beating around the bush, doesn't have the range of influence on you as easily as the rest of us, in case there's any sort of area of effect or, God forbids, a fireball. Ugh.
Red might let
We
you
can
sit on
find
them.
a place
Yes.
to see and shoot.
Sidewinder, you beautiful beast. What a wonderful time to develop telepathy. Can you read my thoughts so long that I project them directly towards you? And how far away can you do that from?
I don't know. It strikes me that if you were shouting with your mind, I could. Let's try.
I am going to mentally conjure up all of my ability to yell something in my mind, which I'm in my head and talking about myself a lot. So I feel like I'd be decent at this. And I'm going to force all of my thought towards the word jerky in a very in a very powerful way.
Sidewinder says, I could hear that clearly, and Revan is not jerky. He's just occasionally a bit uncoordinated.
Thank you. Do you think that if you were near Sumac's side, if I mentally conjured that image from your guys' vantage point on wherever it is going to be targeting the tent, that you'd be able to relay the fact that it is time to aggress to Sumac?
Yes.
Perfect. So, I'm going to go in through the front. It's going to start as an intervention. We are starting as an intervention. And
have anyone going through the back door?
if you propped by the back door would be fantastic. Honestly, I will let you choose how you would like to do this, Malachi / Infinus / the both of you. If you want to, and push comes to shove, just burn the tent down, so long that you don't burn around the neighboring tents. That could be a good way to do it. That would also open up line of sight for Sumac, so that would be fantastic. Just don't start a campfire. And by campfire, I mean a fire of the camp.
A fire of camp, not a campfire. Got it.
Yes.
I can do that.
Does this sound good to everybody?
Yeah, I'm on board.
We'll watch her blaze.
Remember, we're starting as an intervention. We are holding off on the actual engaging of potential combat until the safe word, which is now the kill word, is mentally projected. Understood.
Jerky,
What did you do on
jerky?
What did you do on Tuesday, Owen? Well, involved. Never mind. Safe word. Okay, so
yes, now I believe we are ready to engage. Intervene in whatever's happening in that tent.
Okay. Well, just because I'm a decent human being, you're approaching the tent. There's a crescendo, let's just say that, and the light is fading to a glow, and in the afterglow, you are outside the tent. What do you do?
I will be making a reasonable amount of noise, while hopefully everyone else is making not a reasonable amount of noise as I approach and Revan, I have this most amazing magical sword to show off to you. I know you haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet, and I know how you love magical equipment. Hello, is there anyone in the tent? I saw both of you go in there.
Yes. He's
You
a
know,
little.
I
He's a
think
little short of breath right now. Give him a minute.
Okay, I can give you a couple minutes, but I do intend in coming in tonight. Yes. Hmm.
Sumac and Sidewinder are going to find a nice perch on if there is a cliff outcropping or something similar
So the
to
other
sit,
day,
watch, and
so
wait.
the other day there were two birds on a perch, and one said, "Do you smell fish?" All right. So,
yeah,
Mm,
Is Revan in a state in which he can respond to me at any point in time here?
Yeah.
he's only mostly dead.
Are you decent? Can you get decent?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me know when you are decent, and preferably company also is decent.
Mhm.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I'm coming in. Ah,
Revan is in a toga.
that works for me.
Yeah. Dahlia is turning up a couple of the oil lamps a little bit. She's almost wearing a lovely linen robe. It's
Mhm.
distracting. Anyway, but she seems comfortable. Um, did did you want some
Well, yes.
privacy or
Well, actually, no. I wouldn't mind if you stay here because, well, I would assume that this is the weapon that Mangle wants, correct?
is it?
I'm not sure. Do you know if Mangle even knows specifically what we were going after?
He spoke of a great weapon of the before times, and he said that his researches and studies and scouts and spies had given him every reason to believe that this was the location where the great weapon was stored. But I don't even know if he has a description of it.
Well, that's interesting to know. Um, I think that there is a possibility that this might be it. In which case, I think we've at least got to take it back to Mango so he can check it over. Which brings me to the question of what happens to you after we finish our quest? I couldn't help but notice the fact that you've been growing rather close to Revan. Um, does us returning to Mangles means that your time with him is over, or?
Master Mingle gave me a place when I didn't have one. It was not the best, and he was not the kindest master I have had, but kept me safe. And I thought for a very long time that there wasn't any other safe places. That that was my place. And when you all arrived and I was sent, I feel like I found a safer place. And she's looking very puppy dog, soulfully at Revan. And if my Lord Revan were amenable, I would go with him, and he can be my safe place. So I'm going to ask the master if he would release me from my obligations to him, since I do owe him my life.
How truthful is all of this?
Go ahead and give me a what's that? Delve? What's it called?
Uh, I believe in the past we've been using scrutinize for that.
Yes, scrutinize. Thank you. Go for it.
didn't have a conscience then. I don't have one now. That's not gonna change it.
Okay. Yeah, mark experience. 2 questions
Oh.
that you must answer honestly.
Oh, yeah.
What are your intentions?
So, my intentions are to first figure out how willing Dahlia is to turn on her master. If she even has the capacity to turn on her master.
Okay. And how can she get you to trust her?
Well, fuck. Pardon my language.
PG-13, that's our one.
Hey, 1 per episode, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Actor Shadow has spent so much time and effort to bleep out so many things for us.
You
Thank you,
threw
Devin.
away my one F-bomb. I was holding on to that.
Can I use the cop-out of if she continues to tell the truth to me?
Well, is there anything a little more concrete than that? Save your life, save Revan's life. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, actually, here. If she agrees not to come back to Mendel's with us.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So Urkthor and Delia are having quite a bit of a heart-to-heart here. And she, weeping, what does, I know you've never trusted me. What would it take for you to trust me? Well, not to return to Mengel's. I can't. He has a power over me that I can't rest away from him. I could try and I would fight it, and I tried to leave once, and I ran and ran and ran, and I hid, and I woke up walking back toward him.
Could you expand on that? You cannot rest from his side, but haven't you been on this journey the entire time with us?
At his urging, I can't. He has a fishhook in my soul, and all he needs to do is pull the line, and I obey. I can't.
Revan.
And I would need my Lord Revan to help me buy my freedom.
Revan, do you have any familiarity with this kind of magic?
Not really. Seems vaguely similar to the true name stuff, though.
Maelstrom.
Do you want
I could
to
do a recall.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and see if you do you have any books? Do you have a bag of books around someplace?
I've got a small thing of books, but not many
Okay.
with me.
Okay.
I've read I learned under a tutor originally.
Oh, okay.
Maelstrom, you are a magical weapon. Do you think that you have the ability to sever magical ties?
I love
Mark-
rolling today.
Mark XP. Mark XP there, Revan. To free, and now it's a sound of his voice is a sound of a rasp on iron. Just it's a grating sound. To free someone from bonds, to scrape and file away the manacles. This I could do, yes.
Oh, you are starting to speak my language. We
are coming up on our
definitely might have
bio
started
break
off on the wrong foot.
Shadow, what?
Oh, we're coming. Not Shadow. We're coming up on our bio break time.
Yes. Okay. So are we at a stopping spot here? Do we want to wrap up the convo with Delium?
One last question for Dahlia, at least
Sure.
that I find pressing. If
Sure.
Revan, yeah, and at the moment mentally, I'm projecting do not engage, more than meets the eye. But to Dahlia,
Why you don't turn the safe word into the kill word?
to your knowledge, how much can Mango gleam on us from your existence? Will he know of this conversation we have just had?
I don't think so. It's not like he sees through my eyes or anything. It's just
There's a connection, and he can tug on the connection, and you might be able to feel his will.
it's worse than that. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you walked into the room? If I'm not holding something or sitting down or curled up, if he wants me there, I just keep walking. I just keep, if I'm not consciously trying to exert my own will, it's his. He doesn't know any of this, but since I know that you've done this great deed, my feet are trying to trend me that direction.
Understood. But we do still potentially have the element of surprise. That
I don't know if he can sense me from a distance.
we might have the element of surprise. It'll be a surprise whether or not we have the element. Sorry, no pun intended in this grave time.
I won't. If you're planning on turning on him, I won't be any use.
Understood, and you may be a hamper.
I can't raise a hand against him. Revan, this is starting to sound more and more and more like true name stuff. And I mean, everybody does have a true name. That is a fact. But yeah, this is really starting to sound like true name stuff.
And I think this is a good time for a break. I have the information I need. I need to plot.
I concur. All right. So thank you, faithful viewers. We'll be coming back in about 10 minutes. So set the timer, and we will talk to you very, very soon. back. Gotcha. Okay, so the past, the present, and the future walk into a bar. It was tense. So, in other tense news, Urkthor it's gone off the rails. Urkthor originally went in steely-eyed, like a Law and Order detective, trying to get to the bottom of this whole Delia mystery. Ends up, holding hands and crying. And we're finding out that Delia is just completely and totally, probably magically enthralled to this Mengel person, and really can't do anything to actively harm them. So, in a little bit of an impasse here. What's everybody doing?
First off, Delia, one last thing. I'm not the only one to be somewhat suspicious of you in the party.
I know.
Everyone else is kind of on edge as well, and I think it would do a lot of good. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but if you could step outside of the tent real quick, and I'm gonna hand her my knife and gonna hold it blade side in my hand, they would feel a lot of relief if they could just see a little bit of blood to make sure, yes, you are human. There's been some crazy rumors going around.
She's looking at Revan. My lord, are you all right with this?
Would it be a problem?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand what you want me to do.
Just honestly, if just a little thumb prick, we would like to see a little bit of blood. Yeah.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah,
And
that's all.
she flips back her robe, and she's got this peach of a bite mark right about here. It's bruising nicely, and there is a little bit of blood to go along with it.
Do you want to show that off to everyone, or a thumb prick? Either would be fine by me. I'm not sure if everyone else would be fine by that.
I would love to show this off to everyone.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's not the best one, but that's.
Oh,
I don't think we want to see the best
probably
one.
do it. Mentally, Sidewinder, you can bring everyone in, and also if you could come down yourself and verify that currently has a heartbeat would be nice.
She takes the knife from you and hands it to Revan. And
kinky.
I want that back at some point.
And is that the one that Shadow keeps stealing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll be in their possession sometime in the next 12 hours. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that, Urkthor.
Accurate.
All right. So she kneels.
Don't.
She throws one of the pillows on the floor, and she kneels in front of Revan and hands him the blade and said, I trust you.
I will clean you religiously. I will clean you religiously.
I hope you're not talking to Revan.
No, I'm talking about my knife.
Okay. I don't know, buddy. Maybe you kiss if you kiss him first. Yeah. Anyway. So the rest of you.
I'm gonna bring up again that just because someone bleeds does not necessarily mean it should not be used as a good margin of people.
Yes.
I told your sword this, and I'm gonna tell you guys again too. I don't really like the metric of trustworthiness equals you have to be able to bleed.
Are we being ableist to the bloodless peoples right now?
I do.
I had one ultimatum from one team member. I'm fulfilling the ultimatum for one team member. If other people would like to get their confirmation in other ways, I'm open to suggestions. But I would like to move forward as a party. And so that requires getting people on the same page. I'm currently on the page of not murdering her as she stands.
I'm okay with not murdering her, but I don't have to trust her, right?
No, you don't have to trust her. Yet. Well, actually, I can't force you to trust her at any point in time, but...
Shadow's gonna almost hop up to perch on the bed and think better of it and hop up to perch on Urkthor for a little bit.
All right. Are you approaching inside as well, Sumac, or are you still outside?
We're come down to a place where we can see, but far enough out of everybody's reach.
Okay. So she hands the knife to Revan and puts her hand in his and is maintaining eye contact with you, Revan. She's looking-
And I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if there's any fluctuations in heat or that heartbeat that
I'm gonna
Sidewinder had
side
mentioned.
eye at, Sumac, and I'll just do a nice slit.
You can
across-
see her. She is sitting on the cliff in the darkness, dude.
Just a nice
Very
slit
good
across
eyesight.
the palm.
Yeah, and it wells up, and she closes her eyes for a second and winces. And shows it to everybody.
There's blood there. Yes. Cool.
Yes,
Cool.
quite a bit. Yeah, you saw the pulse jump in her neck when he did it too.
Who is to say? Shit. What's his name? Who's to say Mangle doesn't bleed?
He
Things
might
made of metal.
bleed, but he
Not
might
bleed.
bleed in a different. I would expect him to bleed in a different way because if that, at least from my experience, if the heart rate isn't, if there isn't a heart or something pumping, then blood gets pretty stagnant really quickly, and stagnant blood gives off a very visible change to flowing blood.
Shadow's gonna rip off a part of their cloak and pass it to Delia as a makeshift bandage here.
She says, "May I?" and gestures for the dagger.
Sure, I'll hand her a weapon.
All right. She cuts the little scrap into strips, wipes off the blade, hands it back to Urkthor, and
She
then
is
binds.
a trained medic.
Yeah, and she binds her own hands. Again, looking. She's not even looking at it. She's looking at Revan in the face. Tucks it in, and she says, "Kiss it and make it better."
How is this kid alive?
He'll lean over and kiss it.
What?
Almost like one would take a lady's hand and almost bow into it.
Mm-hmm. So, this has been exciting. Anything else?
I still vote for tying her up.
Kinky.
Why was Mangle?
No.
Is Sidewinder still able to translate from where he is?
Yes.
Why was Mangle able to turn into you?
What?
That's
Why was Mangle
right.
able to turn into you? Why can you two become the same?
What are you talking about? Well,
Why can you and Mangle become one and the same?
Mangle and I are nothing alike.
Why can he turn into your visage?
Oh. Well. He used to lecture at me a lot about the before times and about all of the wonders of the past. And the metal ones, the forged and the created, they were made for tasks. And I asked once what his task was. And he said to be a very efficient killer, a spy, and an assassin. And it scared me. And I think he enjoyed it. But he can assume any likeness.
Can Micah scrutinize?
Sure. Go ahead. You're going to delve into this interaction. Go right
Yeah.
ahead. Okay. So you can ask one question.
Are they being honest about like, are they being honest? I guess I have to be generic. Are they being honest?
Are they being honest?
Yeah. Am I able to specify what I want what specifically I want to, or does it have to be a generic? Are they being honest?
I'll give you the list. You tell me if what you wanted to know isn't on it. Honest. Okay. She was being honest about Mengel talking a lot about the old times. She was being honest about Mengel talking about how the created and the forge were created for a specific function. She was being honest about when he told her what his function was, and she was being honest about being scared of him when he told her.
Was she being honest about her surprise when Shadow said that he could turn into her? Or was her shock genuine?
No, you don't think so.
Okay.
How long has he been able to turn into you?
He studies people,
Not what we asked.
No, he studies people.
Still not what we asked.
Let her finish.
He said when he was approaching a target, he would take on some sort of nondescript appearance. Just another face in the crowd, and watch them and study them and look at their walk and their gestures. I think I was there at the facility maybe a fortnight, maybe a month, when he walked into my room as me. So I don't know how long ago that was, but it didn't take him long.
Has Mengel ever had to replace one of your parts? And is it possible he did it with himself?
One of my parts.
Any of your pieces? Heart, kidney, skin?
Oh.
Has Mengel ever had to repair you? And has he ever done it with himself? Do you know if he could?
He told me I was in bad shape when he found me. I don't remember when he found me. And he said that he had to work pretty hard to keep me alive.
Dahlia, are you sure you're entirely yourself?
I wonder if there's a memory.
How would I woke up, there was pain. I woke up and he had the form of an auntie, like a woman that just anyone would trust. And he was very soothing and again got me back to health before he started changing and showed me who he truly was. I don't know. I've never thought about that. I mean, I knew he was making the half thing and half created, but I don't know. I don't know if
the last
and she puts her hand on her chest.
I'd like to make an observe roll with that sense magic thing I can do.
What's your thing now?
The magic sensitivity. I'm gonna
Oh.
Walk closer to the scene, having as Sidewinder's doing this back and forth.
Okay, yeah, Sidewinder's a little tense. Go ahead and hit me with an observe roll, please.
I was gonna do it on the sword earlier, but it wasn't as immediate as this. But
gotcha.
While the observation's being made, may I ask Dahlia a question?
Sure.
You mentioned that as a machine, he was built with a purpose, and that purpose was to be an assassin. That would be why he can take upon someone's likeness.
Oh.
Now, wouldn't it be correct that if he was specifically created to be an assassin, wouldn't it be very ineffective if you could not at least copy some of the basic functions of the body of the things that you are copying? Specifically something like maybe a heartbeat?
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of that.
So I can perceive magical emanations from creatures, objects, and locations, but I'm not going to be able to ask what here is magical, other than the general thing, because I rolled crap.
No, you can ask one question, but you're not going to like the answer. Mark XP, please. So what here is magical?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The short list. Sidewinder is magical. Revan is more magical than not. Micah is magic. Maelstrom is very magic. There's a warm glow to your. Do you perceive magic visually or with a different sense?
Smells pineapples.
Maybe she tastes it on her tongue the way snakes do.
Ooh, I like that.
Be interesting.
What if she develops like the pits so that
She senses she
That would be
senses
interesting.
she senses magic and sees it like Sidewinder sees heat.
Oh,
That could certainly work. That would make
Yes.
sense.
Also with the little pits.
Yeah.
Yes, also the little pits. Yes.
We're talking infrared vision here.
Yeah, you're going from cactus to avocado on us. You've got pits. Anyway,
That's two.
that's two. Sorry. Okay. So, your magical sense, yes. Sidewinder is glowing brightly. The sword is a living flame. Rivaling in intensity, Micah, actually. It would be hard to tell which one was more magical at this point. Shadow has got a lovely lambent rosy glow coming from wherever they are hiding.
Elemental
Pilot's
stone.
no Pilot's brain ring, mind ring.
And
Again,
Channel Ones, and I have the true name coin.
oh yeah. You look like
Where did that elemental stone go? The crystal.
I
one-
think
That's in my possession.
That's
the one that's holding.
okay.
The one
I was
that's holding-
allowed.
I have a here, let me pull it. I
You
have
had
a
one of a
soul gem.
Yeah.
Soul gem. And it's about that time, Revan, you notice, that cloud of soul torments, like wisps,
Yep.
and it's gone.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, and you don't know. You didn't notice when it left, and you don't know what happened to it. Also, yeah, Delia is giving off a decided magical glow. So what do you do?
Did he ever make what are you other two-legged? They cut you open and they pull out the parts. What is that called?
Cyborg?
No. You pull it for you medically. You cut it
Lobotomy or
open.
dissection?
You pull out the parts. No. But then
I've
they live
cut
afterwards.
A green skin or two.
Surgery?
before.
Surgery. Did Mengel ever have to do surgery on you?
Magical ones are an exception.
Believe we already asked that. Never mind. Continue. Answer, please.
No, like a surgery.
She's got her hand on her chest again, and her hands on her belly. I think so. when he found me, he said I was in very, very bad shape. And she's stroking her neck, and she does have a very it follows along the muscle, so it's usually in shadow. You'd have to point it out, but she's got a very long, very, very, very thin scar. It's just it's not even raised. It's just a discoloration of skin matching, and she's got another one. Again, she's got a robe half open. She's got another one like right alongside her sternum. Again, very, 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 very thin. This was a very sharp, precise blade, and she's rubbing her belly about. Yeah, you can't see. It's though, Revan, you have noticed about 2 inches below her navel, she's got a scar. Again, very, very thin, almost from hip to hip.
Just one last question. Do you think whatever he put in you was shiny?
I don't even know how to begin to answer that question, Shadow.
I have a question.
By all means.
The last generation of the created, were they distinguishable from humans?
I don't know. Mengel has always been interested in the minds, in the brains, the intellect, and so he sang the praises of the ancients that made him, and some that were smarter than him. But he has the power to mask himself. And from what he said, I don't know that he was the last of that kind of thing to be made.
Is Urkthor completely cleaned that knife yet?
Yes.
Oh. Unfortunate.
There's probably still some bloody scraps laying around.
I kind of want to taste that to see if there's anything weird. I've eaten a lot of things.
Yo,
You would
does it
have-
taste weird?
I'm a horrible person. Tell me I'm a horrible person.
You would
mean-
know.
You're a horrible
I'm
person.
a hunter,
Okay.
and I'm
No,
sure I've
no.
hunted down some humanoids in my time.
No, Revan, it's just like Mom used to make.
It tastes like the
Okay.
alcohol here.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry for being the survivalist.
Oh no! You're fine. You're fine. It's just the fact that Revan would know.
Shit. Give me a sharp roll, Simak.
Okay.
Also, I probably still have the rags that I used to clean off my blade.
Yes, you do.
No,
Okay.
not today.
Mark XP.
Ah.
All right. So you're like, hey, can I have that rag? And you're sniffing it. Well, it doesn't smell odd, except in one way. Delia smells delicious. Oh, McGird, well marbled. You can just lot of meat there. Just it's almost intoxicating. You're like, oh, she dies, dibbies. Yeah, it's again, it's almost intoxicating. It's like, woof, that smells really tasty. Okay, so yay, Digimark experience, good.
I did.
All right, anybody else?
So, what now?
The orc is magical.
Yes. She stretches very interestingly, and yawns.
Now, Delia, now since we're trying to begin to trust you with these new inflooding of information, how do you, as you said, as you slumber, you try to head towards Mangle, and you aren't in control of your faculties. So what do you suggest we do tonight?
Revan wouldn't be opposed to tying her up.
Tying up her time.
Down.
You started this.
Yeah, literally, yes. I am the ultimate progenitor of this motley little crew. So yeah, it's all your fault. Okay. If I had to guess, I don't know how he does it. Since we came to the place and we got the thing, since I know that that's true, there's something in me that wants to head back. It's a thin little whisper now, but it's going to grow strong. However, if we're heading back in the right direction, it calms down.
Obviously, we're not going to travel tonight. Do you think there will be a problem tonight?
I don't think so.
All right. And so we don't have to take any safety precautions?
I'll let you know. I'll have Lord Revan keep a close eye on me.
Oh, I think he's already doing that.
Revan, do you think you can handle that?
Shouldn't be a problem.
Fantastic. Mentally, I would like to reach out to Sidewinder. Tell the rest of the party we have a private meeting after this outside of prying eyes.
Okay. The message gets out. So, Revan, are you going back to bed, or are you going to
specifically like to stay with the party for a little bit longer?
Okay, cool. So you tuck in Delia very winsomely, kiss on the forehead, and you all make your way to a safe and quiet spot. All right, Erkthor, you're up. What's going on?
Okay. First off, question for you, Owen, real quick. So long that we are within a layer of privacy, do I have your honest word that any plans we make here won't necessarily be navigated around?
Okay, I will answer your question this way. Any fellow GMs out there, follow me on this one. It's much more entertaining, Hunter, if you have a theory or a goal or a plan or whatever. I have found, historically speaking, in my couple of years behind the desk as a GM, it's much more entertaining for everyone involved if all y'all make a plan and it goes almost perfectly.
Fantastic. Good to hear.
So
that works.
But how many mystery writers does it take to change a light bulb?
I'm ready for this to go wrong horribly and wonderfully.
2. 1 to screw it almost all the way in, and 1 to give it a surprise twist at the end.
Perfect.
So, yeah, just this is a meta thing. The better it goes in the early stages, be prepared for that twist to be at 16 Gs, neck snapping. So just yes. Okay, teehee. So no, I'm not gonna. It's like, oh, we'll climb the cliff. Oh no, the cliff's covered with oil. Oh, we'll set the oil on fire. Oh, it's not flammable. No, I'm not one of those GMs. I'm a. Let's see where they're going with this. All right. And
thank you for some wonderful aside lessons of GMing.
No
for a quick little intermission in our party, but back to the action.
Yes.
party. In my experience in the military, seeing lots of combats, I've seen quite a few well-trained assassins utilized in many different ways in combat. And one thing that I would be very surprised about is if Mangle did not have a way of securing his target once they were prepared. I believe I will probably be attacked tonight, either tonight or tomorrow night or before we make it back to Mangle's. Because, at least in Mangle's best interest, if he can get what I have before we make it back to Mangle's facility, he has absolutely no reason to give us anything we wanted. Better yet, if we're all dead, then there's no one necessarily to know where to go get it back from. So,
I don't want you to die, but if you do die and you
Revan.
can't do anything
Sorry.
about it, can I have your stuff?
To increase the encouragement to keeping me alive, I'm going to say no.
Well, no, I don't want you to die. Final will. It's
I'm going
important.
to smirk at Shadow. I get
It
the
is-
dagger, right?
A secret.
No, I want the dagger.
And preferably, I want to be buried with everything already on my person, and anything that was very quickly removed from my person before I passed.
What a waste.
Does that mean if
Revan.
he drops his sword before he dies, I can have it?
No. That would be within close of my passing, so it still
No.
sticks with me. But
you said
we're
taken from you.
I
or
don't think
removed
the
from
sword
my
wants
person.
to go with you when you're dead. I think the sword wants to find a new wielder.
But let's focus. The goal is for us not to die. Revan, you did have a sour face on your look when I brought that up. Do you have something you'd like to mention there?
In terms of business, taking out your partners just before they finish a job is not particularly great practice to keep a stable partner. I don't see why Mangle would try to remove associates that are beneficial to him still.
Yes, but also
They lose
wouldn't it
benefit as soon as they've gotten what he wants.
What he wants is influence.
Revan, wouldn't you agree that a good partner is someone that you know much about? You don't want
Weapons
too
and
many
strength
mysteries
are
between you and a
influence.
partner.
Too many people talking at once. Go ahead and repeat that, Sumac.
Weapons and strength are influence.
Oh, no. Quite on the contrary. Weapons and strength are a tool. They are not power or influence. Power and influence are people's hearts and minds.
But if he has the tools,
I
he
could
doesn't
demonstrate.
need us to have
And we are not splitting the party at this point, please. I feel like I may be at risk tonight, and I would like to keep the discussion targeted on making sure that that doesn't happen if that is a possibility.
You
You're
want to sleep
right.
with Sidewinder?
You can sleep in red with me.
But I do have a spell that will alert me if anything enters its premise with maliceful intent.
What if it's already in your presence?
It notices the malice.
Okay.
So as long as if something has negative intentions, I will be alerted.
Negative intentions or bloodlust.
Out of character, let me read the description.
Point of fact, Thor, you're one of two people in the group who have danger sense.
Yes.
He's
Would that
also got
stop a
danger magnet.
trained assassin?
Okay. It says anyone acts with malice within, including entering with harmful intent.
Okay.
So it's malice, not bloodlust. If something
Okay.
comes in with the idea to steal from you, kill you, stab you, any form of harm to you, I will be aware.
I don't know if that would apply to something doing it unwillingly.
But if there's something in her making her do it, I think it would at least sense that part.
It's the notice of the intent.
Yeah. And would danger sense be enough to wake me up?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
would danger magnet perhaps keep him asleep?
No. It would attract the danger. but I would still sense the danger. It doesn't cancel each other out.
Right.
At least in my experience of being a danger magnet and having my so never mind.
Two different tricks.
Good chance that the weapon is stolen, not necessarily me die. That's relieved. But yes, I have a feeling that it is unlikely that Mangle. Honestly, I think there's a good chance that Mangle is nearby and isn't waiting patiently at his facility.
I'll keep watch tonight. I can do a stand sentinel roll, right, Owen?
Yeah. Also, point of fact, Urkthor, Maelstrom offers to watch over you.
Maelstrom, do you sleep?
No, not as you would understand it.
Okay, good
I'll
to know.
sleep too. We can be best buddies. You're shiny.
Can we trust this one?
Which one?
The feathered one. They have your dagger. Did you know that?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna check.
They're
I'm
lying.
gonna check my belt and where I usually keep it, and then the other place that I usually keep it, and then the place that I usually hide it, and then.
Nope.
Yep.
Okay, to be fair, Revan gave it to me.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. You handed it to Dahlia, who handed it to me. That's basically the same thing.
When it matters, yes, we can trust that one. When it matters.
Can I keep the dagger?
No. I
They hand it back like a scolded child.
I need it back. Okay, so
just for a moment, Shadow. Let's see. Yeah, just for a moment. There's a flicker, and Maelstrom, which is a good-sized blade, turns into the absolute most beautiful dagger you have seen. It's got the quillons for catching blades. It's straight silver, and it picks up all the available light, and it's just, and the little pommel. And you know it would fit. Fit perfectly in your hand, and then it's a sword again.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, I think me and Maelstrom will get along so well.
So, you're making arrangements to not get attacked and dead or stolen stuff tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do we can always do shifts too. I would be more than happy to wait, sleep first and then wake up later.
I don't want to go too extreme, because another thing that oftentimes assassins do is he does have the entire trip back to the facility to make a move if he wants to do that beforehand. And a good assassin will bide his time, wait for us to exhaust resources. So I think so long that we're vigilant, we don't need to go overkill. If Maelstrom believes he can, as well as we're aware of the potential danger, that may be enough.
Were you still casting Sanctuary, Revan?
I would, yes.
Yes, okay. That would also be beneficial.
All right, give me a spell roll, please.
All right.
Okay. You actually have someone who joins you.
Oh.
You have to actually physically walk the perimeter of the space that you're trying to ward. Magda, the shaman of the horse folk, appears out of the night, and she starts chanting. The rhythms are fairly similar to the whatever magical effect that you're working on. and she's planting wands. They're just wooden with a little horsehair and a little feather, and she's planting them every like 10th step, and she's basically trailing you around the space. And when you get back to where you were starting and you're done, she claps 3 times, and you just feel that that you can feel that perimeter bolster basically. She evidently felt you casting this spell and showed up and was like, okay, if Revan thinks this is a good idea, yeah, probably a good idea for me to help out. So you get the impression that yours might be a little stronger than Magda's, and also a little less conspicuous. So this is very Ugg thump kind of magic.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
isn't
yep.
subtle.
Yeah, the only like visual sign of mine is there's like a small trail of like twigs and plants
Right,
that slowly seem to get eaten as the night wears on.
right. So, all right.
Sheepsis.
So,
Bob.
Bob. All right. So the night passes uneventfully. Just to let you know,
Oh,
nothing fell approaches, and you are not spirited away, nor murdered, nor robbed, Urkthor.
Do I still roll stand sentinel?
Again, the evening passes uneventfully. Somebody was talking about taking shifts. Long story short, everybody gets a good rest. Everybody, nothing appears to untoward has happened. Revan, you're still wondering about what happened to your spirit bits that were following you around, but at least the screaming in the back of your head has gone away too.
I would like to specifically wake up early and just check up on all of my sleeping companions.
Okay. Everyone seems to be doing well.
Shadow trails at you from their branch.
Shadow is not asleep.
Nah.
Like,
Shadow
right
wakes
before-
up. Shadow wakes easily.
You hear the birds call in the morning. You also hear Shadow being a little menace in the morning.
Shadow is also a menace late into the night, so I don't know.
Night owl, early bird, a little bit of everything. They nap.
Can confirm.
Usually on Urkthor's back.
So, yeah, Delia, when she wakes up, she says, yeah, if we could get on the road home or there, I don't know if I want to call it home. So, is anybody doing anything before the jaunt back toward that direction?
While jaunting, I'd like to have a discussion. Well, once we get to jaunting, I'd like to have a discussion with Revan.
I was gonna say, are we heading? I don't remember. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Are we heading straight back towards the factory? Or are we heading towards the town?
Oh yeah, we forgot the unnaturally flawless part.
What unnaturally
True.
flawless?
That is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Perfectly symmetrical in every way, to the point of unnaturalness.
Wait a minute. There were surgeries. There are scars. She is not perfectly symmetrical.
It's true.
Who said this? Who said the scars aren't symmetrical?
They're
The
not.
fact that you stated that there was like one on one side of the neck.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yee.
All right. So is anybody doing anything special before you leave your new people?
Refilling food and water.
Yes, they will
Yep.
They'll provide enough food and water to get you at least back to East Haven.
Mm-hmm. If we ever wish to return, how can we guarantee that we'll return safely with how vigilant your defenses are?
I can't quite track a hawk on a cloudy day, but our people are known for having good vision.
Oh,
So if one or two of you two-legged folk start edging toward the grove,
you'll look twice before firing. I appreciate it.
Is Red
Well-
joining us?
not now. Red wants to Magda makes Red's acquaintance. And since she's the oldest of the group, she is obviously fascinated by him, and introduces the lawgiver, and the lawgiver is the oral historian of the group. So she's going to be making sure that Red's okay, and the lawgiver is giving Red as much information about everything that has happened since the before times. So he really wants to stay here and kind of just let it, let it sink in and gel a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I would like to try to talk to Red at least before departure.
Hmm.
His child.
Hmm.
My son?
Specifically, so, to Red, what exactly are your intentions now that you've been, well, rebrought to this and everything?
They used to tell stories. There was the story of the sapling that had a rock on it, and it was sad because there was a rock on it. And so when a friend tipped the rock off of the sapling, it did what it always wanted to do: grow, grow and grow and thrive. So I have fallen in a place that is not rocky. I have fallen in a place with sun. I have fallen in a place with people who want to understand. I intend to grow. And I hope you grow too.
I hope to bless you in that way. I have a little experience with, and referencing to you, growing in this world is not particularly easy. In some cases we find, well, blood to be more nourishing than water, and in your case, well, there's plenty of ash for nutrients. Hopefully you can change this place back to what it once was. Blood and ash bring nutrients. They come with pain, but they help the ones left grow.
I hadn't thought of that. Perhaps you will visit. Perhaps I will have new friends.
I
Perhaps
can
I will
try
have
to.
new siblings to grow with. That would be good. I would like that.
As
So,
they head out, Shadow is going to wrap the short sword they have on their person
mhm.
and tuck it up under Red's roots and just, I'll see you again. Keep my shiny.
That's actually really wholesome.
He
If
reaches up and takes a
Oh.
leaf off, and he says, "Go like this." And he sticks the leaf between your palms and puts his hands over them, and he says, "Shiny, shiny, shiny, shiny." And when you open your hands, one side of this thing is that molten gold yellow of a certain autumn tree, and the other side is that silver white of the underside of a leaf. You know how it's got the green with the underside? So silver and gold. And he says, this will bring you back to me when you decide to return.
It's the
Friend?
prettiest shiny I have. Thank
Oh.
you.
No. You have two things shinier. So, and then makes you pinky swear to come back. Tee hee. All right. Anybody else?
If no one else has anything, I do actually think that's a really good wholesome moment to stop for the night while we do our end of the night things.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, that brought an actual tear to my eye.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's a beautiful moment to end on.
Oh yeah,
Shucks, man.
would that count
Scuffs
as,
the-
as satisfying? One of the things use enjoys and whatever is goals is to promote growth and rekindling of nature.
Whose?
You, my arm, the literal
Oh.
piece of wood growing on my arm, wishes its entire goals that it wishes itself to grow and it wishes the growth of woods specifically again.
Oh. Yeah, actually, when you go to talk to Red is looking at your arm a lot. Oh, and there seems to be some sort of unspoken communication passing between them. And so listening to you, oh yes, and looking and nodding and and your arm sprouts like its own little. It's never done that before. And it's a little tufted like branch, and Red reaches out very slowly and gives it a gentle tug, and it's a tiny little rootling sapling, and Red reaches down with a big long toe and pokes a hole in the ground and bends over and plants the little sapling. It says, grow. So you can feel this. There's a little bit of that spirit in this tiny little seedling. So yes. All right. We are at end of session.
I
Beautiful.
don't know if it'll do anything, but
Uh,
as everybody's kind of grouping up to say goodbye, Sumak's gonna break off a piece of her hair and stick it with the rest.
oh. But when it's almost as if he knows what you're going to do, and he said, oh, please, and he reaches out and does this odd pinching. He's got way too many fingers for this, but just does this odd little pinch, and this nice little stalk comes off in his hand. You don't even notice it, and there isn't even any sap lost. And he's got way too many toes too, and he sticks his toes in the ground and it's just beautifully all tilled up kind of a thing, and plants the little stalk in there, and gestures. There's some sap, and he smears the underside of it with the sap and plants it in the ground, and he says, grow. He's He's a tree herder again. He's so happy. All right, so end of session. Gonna make me cry now too. Must go down to the sea again. So check your motivations for those of you watching. Other places might call it alignment. A motivation is an alignment with a goal. Did you succeed in your goal for the session? Let's go around. Start with Urkthor. Did you succeed in your goal?
I don't know. Did I show off in front of NPCs, like, coming back alive from a labyrinth that no one's come back alive from before?
Yeah. Yes,
Bam!
Mark experience. Mark is a legend in his own mind, folks. Urkthor, the mighty, the valiant.
Hey, for a while it was only in my own mind, but I think we're getting somewhere.
No, you are puissant, my lord. All right, Shadow. Did you hit your goal?
I don't know
Motivation?
for sure that it caused trouble,
What?
but I did take an unnecessary risk by admitting to Dahlia that we knew Mangle could shapeshift.
Let's say yes. Mark experience. All
Oh.
right, Revan.
I used magic to at least help keep Orkthor safe for a night, and then I don't know what we're counting as magic the rest of the stuff I was doing.
No, that works. Mark experience. Sumac.
Mine is to endanger myself to combat an unnatural threat. I don't know.
Let's say yes. Mark XP. And Micah.
Yeah, mine wasn't hit. Mine is exchange a sacrifice freely given for service rendered. I really didn't do much.
Okay. We'll change that in the future.
No,
All right, check your keys, folks. Check your keys. Keys for those watching are negative personality traits that, if you let them run, are going to cause some problems. So, Urkthor.
I made the executive leader decision to not have the party kill Dahlia after prepping them to kill Dahlia.
Mark XP. Shadow.
You turned the safe word into the kill word.
I stole the knife.
So what's your key again?
Tell me about something shiny so I can steal it.
You already kind of knew about that one, though.
You know of something shinier. The ultimate shine. Yeah, I'm going to say no on that one this time.
Your eyes. Steal your own eyes.
Oh, no. We're talking about Moonslice. We're talking about whatever that thing is. Maelstrom.
Maelstrom?
Yes.
Maelstrom.
Oh gosh, so pretty. Oh, and did like the Damascene blade with like filigree and just picked up the light, just perfect. Yeah, showing off. All right, Sumac, did you hit your key?
Try to keep me on task so I can go herring off after a mystery.
Yeah, that's.
I wasn't happy until I saw Dahlia bleed.
That's true. That is a mystery. Yes, Mark XP. Revan.
Oh yeah, this is easy for this session.
And
I
what
still
was
think
it?
we're gonna complete our job.
No, say it. What is it?
To be naive or trusting.
Oh yes. Oh, my dear sweet summer child. All right, Mark XP. And Micah, did you hit your key?
I did not.
Oh boy. Okay. So check your blood, folks. Blood is relationships, attitudes, etc., usually also with a goal. Does anybody have any of their blood with the other party members that has changed appreciatively enough that you would call that former blood resolved?
All right, so this one I do have one. Micah is weary of Urkthor now because Micah's convinced that Urkthor doesn't like them as much. Because they don't bleed.
Oh
no.
I has a sad. Okay. Urkthor, whether that's a truth or a misunderstanding, Urkthor, are you okay with that truth?
That
or misunderstanding?
is a perfectly good assumption to make from the concourses of today's adventure.
Excellent.
We will resolve that as it needs to be resolved on screen.
Okay. So, Micah, if you want to resolve that blood, mark XP, you don't have to make the new blood with Urkthor if you don't want to.
What do you
just
mean?
Okay, if Sumak's blood with you is Micah's going to get us all killed. Okay,
Yep.
and then Micah's all competent and stuff. If
It's my
Sumac
blood for Revan.
yeah, if Sumac resolves that blood, then it can go from an attitude toward you to no attitude toward you, and Sumac could form a blood bond with anybody else. Basically what I'm saying is you can choose to have the new blood with Urkthor, or you can choose to make a blood with somebody else. That's entirely up to you.
Nope. I think I'll keep it at that because
Beautiful.
that is how Micah feels. Micah
That's
feels that Urkthor is being racist and is sad about it.
Yes. All bleedist and stuff. That's just like a bleeder. That's just I can't even look at you. All right. Anybody else resolve any blood?
I think I resolved one with kind of Sumac, mostly Sidewinder.
Which is
They told me I was very close to the bottom of the list of who to eat. Shadow's very much terrified of Sidewinder, but they have a little more appreciation and a lot more trust. They feel that maybe their working relationship is more genuine than it is falsely bolstered.
I mean, yeah. Shadow's known a few predators in their day. I'll eat you last is actually, and
That's
I'll be sad about it. It's like I'll cry if we go down in the snow. With the Albanian, volleyball team. I'll eat you. Because wasted good protein. But I'll be sad about it. It will hurt my feelings to have to do that. So yeah. Okay. Anybody else resolve any blood
Can I create a blood
with?
I'm thinking of doing that as well.
with my sword?
With also the sword.
Yes, you may.
Fantastic.
What's your blood with your sword?
First off, I feel kind of invaded. I've never had to share my headspace with something before.
Oh no. You don't share a headspace.
It
Maelstrom just went through all of your files.
Yeah, exactly. I feel invaded
with a highlighter. Oh, you have been. No.
Oh yeah.
No.
And that leaves me wary, but also I'm kind of excited because we seem to be on the same track, and it's been a long time since I've been with somebody who at least seems like they're on such a same goal as me.
Whatever happens with Maelstrom,
Mhm.
you will never be able to say the entity known as Maelstrom does not know who I am. The entity known as Maelstrom knows you to your core.
Yeah.
Even some things that you might not have admitted to yourself. So, and Sumac, what blood did you want to form with Maelstrom?
Maelstrom has seen the things I have seen.
Yes, another old soul, for better or for worse. Well, beautiful. Both of you can mark XP for that. All right, then the big three. Dun dun dun. First of all, did you learn something new about the universe?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you did. Everybody mark XP. Did you defeat a noteworthy opponent?
Our distrust of Delia was a noteworthy opponent.
Micah still
Have
does
not defeated
trust.
mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Micah still does not trust her in the slightest.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no on the defeating a noteworthy opponent. Learning more about somebody who may or may not at some point be an opponent. Yes, definitely. But not defeated or suborned one. And lastly, did you recover a noteworthy treasure?
Red Maple.
Good enough for me.
And Sidewinder.
Yes.
Again.
And
Sidewinder is more now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that counts as recovered. Sidewinder did that kind of on his own.
Well, yeah, but you came.
Yeah,
back
but
with something-
Sidewinder came back.
Yeah, you
But-
came
but
back
you're
with something
right.
that you didn't start
Fair.
with. Came back with something you didn't start with.
He's
Okay,
a treasure.
so he is. He's so sweet. No, he's not. He's a literal cold-blooded predator, but a cold-blooded predator that would hold the door for a lady. So Gold stars. Let's start with Micah. Who gets your gold star today, Ren?
I think Urkthor. Despite the bloodist comments, I actually thought they were really, really in character for Urkthor to say something like that. Of like, oh, this is really human, not really thinking about the fact, like, okay, this is meant to be a compliment, but he has party members that aren't human or aren't mortal in the same way he is.
Right. Right.
So he gets mine.
Yes. And Cassie, who gets yours for the evening?
I'd probably say Revan.
Oh. Any particular reason, or just
You were in a very interesting position when everybody else wanted to kill your friend. So navigating that was definitely entertaining to watch.
Friend.
They let him get out of the
Friend with benefits.
Yeah. So anyway, so Heston, who gets yours for the evening?
Probably Ukthor. Give him all the XP.
And Deb, who gets yours for the evening?
I have to give it to Cass, I think. Stayed very in character for Sumac. I really loved the shutdown when Sidewinder grew wings. The like buffering that you did, it was funny. It made me giggle. I loved it.
Yep. And Hunter, who gets yours for the evening?
Another one towards Sumac. You've had a lot to process this episode. Your companion grew wings. You had so let's add on that additions and make an extra XP as well.
Beautiful. All right. So
Owen, who gets yours?
Boy, there's I'm very rarely this torn.
Owen, you're this torn every time you do this.
It's true.
It's literally every
no. It's
every
normally,
single time.
Okay. It's normally like 55-45. It's not like 51-49.
It's like every time they come out with another Mission Impossible movie. It's the biggest and best Mission Impossible yet.
Yeah, don't get me started on the increasingly misnamed Final Fantasy. That's Final Fantasy 71. We swear to God, this one's the Final Fantasy. Okay, so on the one hand, no offense, I was going to give the pity vote to Micah.
No offense taken.
Okay. But wow. And see, usually it's like a two-way split. It's like this or that. And you all have been just cranking out some great RP here and some funny stuff. I'm gonna give it to Micah. My very, very close second by a nose was gonna be Sumac. However, both of you are going to have ample opportunity to garner some XP next time when things get a little more interesting. So,
Can finally kill something.
huzzah!
What?
Huzzah.
No. Why would we kill
Huzzah.
something?
Huzzah!
Because it needs to die.
No, there's no reason to kill
Nope.
anyone.
I'm with Sumac here.
Murder.
Murder.
I
You
would
have
very
kept
much
a
like
hunter passive for far too long. There needs to be something that dies.
I would love to be an ally to an up and coming warlord.
Funny you should mention it.
I would
All right,
love to be the ally.
Hey, what if the next notable enemy we overcome and kill is Revan?
I already warned you guys.
Wait a minute.
Those robots are all dying one way or another.
Okay. All right. So we've come to the end of the night. Thank you so much, gentle beings, brethren, sistren, and otherin, for giving us your time and attention. We appreciate that. Please do check out Splintered Moon, this PBTA hack created by yours truly that we've all been muddling through for, what is this, 8 sessions now? Should be fun.
This
9.
is 9.
It's 9.
9. Sorry.
A lot.
Yeah,
flashback
yeah.
to that last time I was in Germany. Deb, have you ever heard Germany, they tell knock-knock jokes too. Did you know that? I'll give you one. This is a German.
No. I don't want your stupid
Wait,
pun.
Germans
No,
tell
this is a-
jokes?
This is a
Germans tell
traditional
funny
German-
jokes?
This is a
Yeah,
traditional German knock-knock joke.
That's good.
Heston, knock-knock.
Who's there?
We will ask the questions. Sorry, papers.
Owen.
Das?
We can't even call it World War II here. We have to call it the reason Grandpapa lives in Argentina. Sorry, Chandler.
Owen.
Okay.
And now we can't.
God.
We can cut these
Alright.
things early, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We have to go give Owen a long chat about HR policies.
Yeah.
Workplace.
Okay.
Shit, I'm HR. Anyways.
All right. So, hey, thank you again so much. We appreciate you. You should do the follow, like, comment, sacrifice.
No, why'd you have to say
whatever.
it? Why'd you have
I
to
don't
say
know.
it? No!
Do it.
Don't get excited that he said it!
It's de rigueur, okay? Do check out the Discord. We're going to be popping up a new Discord that is all things no theoretical bias, including the little channel that I like to call No Theoretical Bias Sucks. If you're going to say it, you got to say it to our face, okay? And we don't. I don't judge. But if you don't like NTV,
I do.
we want to be the first ones to hear it. All right,
Yeah,
yes.
are we allowed to
Yeah.
get on
I
that?
hate those guys over at NTV. I just think
I
have
they're
a thing or
all
two to say.
garbage.
Only just please come up with some plausible deniability, okay? Just this person here, is this you? Oh, no. That's just a username that I was using back in the 80s and 90s that none of you would know. Anyway, thanks again. We appreciate you. Tune in next time. I believe our next one up is actually Sunday. We've got Fortress of Bone crew going through some other different Splintered Moon PBTA stuff. They're dealing with the Dominion, a strange and mysterious group of knights. And then coming up rapidly on the 28th, we have got Uncharted Skies, another PBTA of Mage Punk. Steampunk meets the magic world, and hijinks therein ensue. So come on in. We'll appreciate you. And leave some notes, comments. Tell us what we're doing well. Tell us what you want to see more of, and tell us what you want to see less of. We listen. We're givers. We give. All right. So go ahead and count us out there, boss. Thanks again, everybody. Cheers and game on.